So many things in life we've just accepted as the standard, or this is just the way of doing things, without questioning who it was that developed that standard in the first place. And taking things to be absolute truths when in fact it's all just arbitrary and all just subject to individual perception. And so, even if we take something like saying a person, a man or a woman, is a 10, and like, what does that even mean? And maybe one person's 7 is another person's 10. Or the top 10 list. Each year, the film critics and the book critics, they come out with their top 10 list. And I used to get very worked up about this when I was a film student. If there was a certain film that I liked that I thought should have been at the top of the list and it did not make the list, or it only made number 5 on the list when I thought it should have been at the top. And I started to realize after a while how absurd that was, because in fact, it's still just somebody's opinion. And just because it's this group of distinguished film critics that we give all this authority and power, doesn't make it any more valid than your own opinion. And so this is all just to remind you that in life, we're often presented with these things that we're just told this is just the way of doing things. And then you're supposed to judge yourself negatively if you do not meet that quote unquote standard. Again, whether it comes to beauty or whether it comes to your artistic creations, whatever you're putting out in the world, and even when it comes to being spiritual. And just recognizing at the end of the day that you are the path and you are the way, and nobody can decide that for you. And even if your path looks very messy at times, just recognizing that once you start to embrace it and once you start accepting and following your own path instead of somebody else's path, the more you'll find that you just start expanding more and more and just experiencing, just falling into more and more wonderful experiences. And so that is what I encourage for you.